top with pretty Lavinia and unwed Henry, who brings about Hurricane Katrina and the price of progress. We will that Appalachian crab by the river's edge. There's a storm coming, but it ain't that Carolina drama. That's Alabama bound. It's murder ballads that's coming to town.
Hey y'all, Jamie here with Country Diggers. Welcome to the Speakeasy. Today we're going to be going into a murder ballad called Rain and Snow. And I'm going to be singing the lyrics from the Be Good Tanyas. So stay tuned. Alright, Rain and Snow. These are the Be Good Tanya's lyrics. Well, I married me a wife. She gave me trouble all my life. She ran me out in the cold rain and snow. Rain and snow, rain and snow. She ran me out in the cold rain and snow. Well, she came a-running down the stairs, combing back her yellow hair, and her cheeks were as red as a rose. As a rose, as a rose, and her cheeks were as red as a rose. Well, I ain't got no use for your red apple juice, for I ain't gonna be treated this way. This away, and I ain't gonna be treated this away. I see you sitting in the shade, counting every dime I made. I'm so broken, hungry too, hungry too, hungry too. I'm so broken, I'm hungry too. I'm so broke and I'm hungry too. All right, now on to the story. Okay, I will be reading from Wikipedia, Rain and Snow. Rain and Snow was also known as Cold Rain and Snow. Roud number 3634 is an American folk song and in some variants a murder ballad. The one that I was doing, it wasn't the murder ballad one, but it was one of the variants in there. The song first appeared in print in Olive Dame Campbell's and Cecil Sharp's 1917 compilation English Folksongs from the Southern Appalachians, which relates that it was collected from Mrs. Tom Rice in Big Laurel, North Carolina in 1916. Campbell and Sharp's version collected only one verse. Lord, I married me a wife. She gave me trouble all my life. Made me work in the cold rain and snow. Rain and snow. Made me work in the cold rain and snow. Now, keep in mind that Cecil Sharp usually says almost all of the American folk songs came from the English folk songs. But this one, he got wrong in that. This one is totally American, okay? In 1961, folk musicologist Kenneth Goldstein recorded North Carolina banjo player Aubrey Ramsey singing the song for Ramsey's prestige international album. Aubrey Ramsey sings folk songs from the Three Laurels. Aubrey Ramsey sings it. Oh, he sings it good. But I do not have his version because I cannot find it on iTunes. It is on YouTube, and I put it on my playlist of murder ballads and folk songs. So you can go on that and listen to it if you want, or look it up on YouTube. But in 1965, Dillard Chandler recorded a graphic murder ballad version of the song that ends with the wife being shot by the husband. That's the murder ballad version. According to the liner notes on Chandler's album, Chandler learned the song from Brazilla Wallen, who said that the song related to a murder that occurred in Madison County, North Carolina. Well, I learned it from an old lady which says she was at the hanging of somebody, which it doesn't say the name, which was supposed to be the hanging, but they didn't hang him. They gave him 99 long years for the killing of his wife. I heard the song from her in 1911. She was in her 50s at that time. It did happen in her girlhood when she was a young girl. She lived right here around in Madison County. It happened here between Marshall and Burnsville. That's where they did their hanging at that time, at Burnsville, North Carolina. That's all I know, except they didn't hang the man. Subsequent performances have elaborated a variety of additional verses and variants beyond the single verse presented by Campbell and Sharp. Several verses consistently appear. Some sources for lyrics that appear in some later versions may be from Dot Boggs. Dot Boggs' 1927 song Sugar Baby, Roud number 5731. Another lament of a hen-picked husband, which maybe contributed a line about red apple juice. That was the one I just sung with the red apple juice version. A British folk song, The Sporting Bachelors, Roud number 5556, contains similar themes but was collected in the 1950s. Earlier possible precursors include a series of broadside ballads on the general subject of woeful marriage. One frequently reprinted 19th century example begins with the words, "On Monday night, I married a wife," Roud number 1692. These British songs mostly share common themes and inspirations. The song originated in the local tradition of Big Laurel, Madison County, and relate to a nameless murderer who committed the crime at some time between the end of the Civil War and the end of the 19th century. A recent origin is also suggested by the relatively limited number of variations on the tune. Most performances use the Campbell-Sharp melody as written. Despite the apparent violence of the lyrics, women featured prominently in the oral tradition of the song. It was collected from Mrs. Tom Rice and sung by Brazilla Wallen, who learned it from an old lady who remembered the murder trial the song was about. Variants and performances. The song is sometimes associated with the Grateful Dead, who learned it from Aubrey Ramsey's album. A studio version appeared on their first album, The Grateful Dead, 1967, and the song was a standard part of the Dead's repertoire throughout their career. They would often open with the song or perform it early in the first set. Unlike Chandler's recording in the Dead's version, the husband generally laments his mistreatment at his greedy wife's hands, but does not kill her. The lyrics from the Grateful Dead's version was adapted from an earlier recording by Aubrey Ramsey. Towards the end of his life, Benjamin Britten orchestrated the one-verse 1917 version of the song. This appears as the first section, Lord, I Married Me a Wife, of his 8 folk song arrangements from 1976. The song's popularity grew out of the old-time tradition, becoming part of the bluegrass music repertoire when it was recorded by Bill Monroe and Dale McCurry Band. Other performers have recorded the song include Peter Rowan with Tony Rice or the quartet on the quartet album, Sam Abden, Pentacle, Molly Tuttle, Rose Lanigan, Betsy Rutherford, the Be Good Tanyas, Sam Wilkes, Craig Weinrib, and Dylan Day. And also, I have the versions of the Dry Branch Fire Squad and Pauline Scanlon. Solace also sung it, the Chieftains, and Molly and Jack Tuttle, Dillard Chandler, Grateful Dead. So, yeah, that was, it's a good song. I would go look it up. It really is a good song. Both versions of it, the Red Apple Juice version and the Murder version. Both of them's good. All right, well, that was all of that one. So I'll see you back soon. Bye.